Hello everyone, this is Suresh Kumar, working as Assistant Professor, Institute of Aeronautical Engineering, Dundigal, Hyderabad. So today we will discuss a very important topic like the groundwater recharge. In the previously, what is the surface? We have discussed a lot of topics regarding the water resource engineering, just like surface water, groundwater runoff, and also infiltration, evaporation, and evapotranspiration. Like that, there are a lot of topics has been discussed in the previous lecture. Now we have to be discussed regarding the artificial recharge of the groundwater. How the water levels in the groundwater. In nowadays, the groundwater levels will be becoming very, very low. So that's why the acquiring due to the decreasing of the rainfall and the various regions, and also the storage capacity of the groundwater, and also different of the soil conditions, the availability of the groundwater day by day is decreasing. So that's why we will discuss today regarding how the recharge the groundwater of the some methods. Let us see then the topics we have to discuss. We are going to be discuss what is the recharge, artificial recharge, and why artificial recharge, and identification of the areas of the recharge, and the quality of the source of the water, and advantages of the artificial recharge and methods of the artificial recharge. These are the important topics we are going to be discussing today. How that we have to be what is the artificial recharge? How we know very well the recharge of the groundwater. What is the recharge of the groundwater? Of course, the rainfall will becomes the water can be infiltrated. Slowly, it can be percolated and sends to the water in the ground in the inner layers. But we know very well that is infiltration and percolation by using the methods. But here, what is the artificially we have to be that is the natural process. The artificial, how can we recharge the groundwater can be seen. So artificial recharge is the process which the groundwater is augmented at the rate of much higher than those under the natural conditions of the percolation. Natural condition of percolation. As with that, in this method, artificially we have to be applied by some of the techniques can be used for the artificial recharge. So let us see why artificial recharge. The next point is why artificial. Artificial recharge is very important. Why? Because those of the areas when very less rainfall can be detected, or it can be the availability of the water of the ground on particular area will be the very less. Especially in the peak summer, the water availability is very less. That's why we have to be applied some of the methods for the artificial recharge techniques can be used, and also we have to be applied some methods. So artificial most low rainfall areas or rain-fed areas, which is less areas, can be identified first and utilize the sources of the groundwater is low groundwater can be used. Depends upon the large groundwater for the agriculture as well as the domestic purposes. As we discussed in the previously, there is a lot of water problem in the peak summer areas. That's why we applied some of the recharge of the methods can be applied. It can be utilized in the peak summer areas. The artificial recharge of the depends of the water aquifers. As we know, aquifers is the water storage of the different layers, confined aquifers, unconfined aquifers, leaky aquifers, aquated, aquafluid, aquacloud. So these are the some of the storage capacity of the groundwater. In the briefly we have discussed in the previous lecture, but here identification of the areas for the recharge. Which area we have to be applied for the artificial recharges. So let us see we have to select some areas where the groundwater levels of the decline due to the over exploitation, and also where the substantial of the regression of the water well, and the sand pumps is also slow, and some water has been drawn. Where the availability of the water from the wells and hand pumps is inadequate during the leak months, and where the groundwater quality is poor, on particular area, there is no alternative source of the water. And this is the some of the identification of the artificial recharge of the groundwater. So some of the areas, yes, let us have our in Telangana region of the Nalgonda, there is a lot of water can be contaminated due to the fluoride effects. So on that particular area, so we have to be applied some of the techniques from the fresh water can be acquired. So that is the identification of the recharge of the areas. So the quality of the source of the water. How the quality of the source of the water. Let us see that one. In the problems, which areas of the result recharge of the groundwater are mainly related to the quality of the raw materials that are available and the recharge and the generally required from sort of the treatment can be applied before the use of the recharge installations. So the recharge, the quality, before going to enter the quality, no contaminated water. Small contaminator will be filtered in the groundwater layers. Of course it is, but in the by recharging of the groundwater can be used for the recharge installation. Some purification can be done. The major requirements of the water are to be used, and the recharge projects that are to be set are the free. Why? Because in the silt particle, what happens? It cannot be allow the water and freely. The silt particles can be stagnated the groundwater, and also it can be will not be allow the water in the groundwater for recharging and for storage of the water. And another one is here advantages of the artificial recharge. So there is the advantages of artificial recharge. So they enhance the groundwater yield as can be increased. Of course, it can be due to the aquifer due to the urbanization. So due to the urbanization, what happens? The groundwater level day to day decreasing. As we have to see in the Hyderabad area, in the previously there is the 400 feet is availability of the water. Now have to go some of the areas is more than 800 feet and 1000 feet and above is also going to be for acquiring of the bore wells. So that is the position of the present situation. So this is the so we have to be can overcome these situations. What we have to do? So some techniques can be used, and also the rainwater can be stored some areas, and it is a very important. And automatically it can be some areas is not availability of the areas of the rainwater. The storage facility is not there. What we have to apply on that area. Such of the techniques can be applied. So this is the same. We have to be biological. So to improve the quality exists in the groundwater through the dilution, and also to remove the bacteriological and other can be also sewage of the water can be also cannot be allowed, and water is suitable for the fresh water can be suitable for recharging of the water. So why? Because the already contaminated water can be allowed. So what happens? The contaminated water will be again it can be groundwater is the some purified water also be contaminated. So that is the main reason. So some purification water can be used for the groundwater, and artificial are the recharges. Next, methods of the artificial recharge. What are the techniques and methods of the artificial recharges? Here in the ICRISAT can be developed in the Chevilla watershed is the very best example. In the previously in the Chevilla watershed there is a due to the area of the 50 kilometers from the Hyderabad, the water availability on particular area is Kottapalli area very less. So that's why what they are doing, the ICRISAT will be research on particular area and also use some techniques can be applied, just like farm pond, recharge wells, like that. These are some techniques can be applied. What happens in the few years, the area will be the the cultivated land area will be the automatically increases due to applying the methods, just like farm ponds, artificial recharge and storage ponds can be applied. So small or recharge techniques can be applied. So availability of the water in the peak summer is also the wells will not be the availability of the water can be available in the wells. So this is some best example in the Hyderabad region, which is the artificial recharge of the groundwater. Now the point will becomes here, the methods of the artificial recharge will be the augmented at the rate of much higher than the user. The techniques of the artificial recharge can be categorized as follows. What are the methods? Let us see. The artificial recharge techniques can be, whether it is two types can be bifurcated. The first one is direct and second one is indirect. In the direct runoff, the surface spreading. So the direct surface spreading and subsurface. In the surface, what happens? The flooding, and the first one is flooding. So second one is basins or the percolation tanks can be constructed, as we discussed about the Chevilla water set. So best example for the construction of the percolation tanks. So next is the steam augmentation can be provided, and also ditch or furrow type of the system can be applied. These are the some of the techniques on the surface spreading. And the subsurface, what happens? The subsurface will be the recharge wells, and second one is recharge pits can be applied. Again, the artificial recharge techniques can be applied. First one is direct and second one is indirect. In the direct, what happens? Surface spreading and subsurface. And the surface spreading, the flooding can be applied, and the basins are percolation tanks, and the stream augmentation, and the second one is the stream augmentation and the ditch furrow type of the can be applied, and the second one is subsurface. Subsurface can be bifurcated. Again, the recharge wells and the recharge pits can be also dug wells can be constructed. In these are the techniques can be applied for the direct type of the artificial recharges. In the indirect, what happen? Individual recharge techniques can be applied for the artificial recharge areas. So this is the some of the best example for the artificial recharge wells. And first one is surface spreading. Surface spreading. In the direct method of artificial recharge, what happen? As we discussed, surface spreading. Let us see that one. Yes, surface spreading is nothing but here the water can be floats in the above the ground, and it can be utilized. It can be reverse or any of the surface of the spread water artificial directly. It can be spread directly into the inside of the water, and it can be flows in the inside of the bedrocks. So that is the surface spreading of the methods can be applied for the in the basin. So these methods are suitable for the where the areas of the basin is available, and the aquifers, the rate of filtration on the natural on the top of the soil, sand infiltration higher than those of the silties of the soil. The next point is the presence of the soil suspended and under the use recharge clouds can be also forces can be reduction in the infiltration rate of the recharge rate. So next one is point is water quality as very important, as we discussed in the rate of filtration. The various spreading of the methods can be applied in the these are all come the direct methods. Next, flooding. The flooding is the most of the suitable for the relevant of the topography. This water can be spread as thin sheets. This one of methods is thin sheets. It required the system of distribution channel and supported the water flooding. The higher rate of evacuation and also infiltration obtained on areas of the undistributed vegetarian and the sandy soil coverings. So this is the flooding type of the basin. Next one is second basin or percolation tanks. What is the percolation tanks? Percolation tanks is the most common method used for the artificial recharges, and this method can be impounded on the series of the basins or percolation of the tank. The size of the basin may be varies by the availability of the area and the large storage capacity, and the area of the rock area can be formation, and also the efficiency of the feasibility of this one, the formation are highly fractured or weathered. So this can be second method can be basin type or percolation type tanks can be applied. Next one, this is the best example for the percolation tank. So it can be storage of the water on particular area can be stored, and slowly it can be percolated on some area. It can be the groundwater will be automatically it can be recharges. This is the one of the best method for the artificial recharges. Next one is stream augmentation. So what is the stream augmentation? The stream augmentation is the natural streams or rivers is the most the important sources, and also it can be water supplies available in the stream or river exceed the rate of infiltration. It exceeds the lots of the runoff. This runoff can be used for arrested and also thick the bound of the widening spread into the large areas. So this is available at the spreading of the water, increasing the filtration value. That is the stream augmentation techniques can use. The next one is stream augmentation. So this is also one of the stream augmentation can be stored up to the water is availability here. The Indian water can be check dams can be constructed across the river and storage of the water, and also in this diagram you have to understand easily can be stored and automatically it can be recharged into the on particular area will be the availability. That is the stream augmentation techniques. Ditch or furrow system. In this type of the system, irregular topography ditches or furrow type of the ditches, the maximum water area can be recharges and shall be flat and closely furrow the which are used to carry up the sources like streams and canals and provide the percolation opportunity. And these techniques can also operated for this less area can be techniques can be used. Next, ditches furrow. This is the type of technique as the diagram which has been shown in that one. The area of the streams can be here and also the sides of the canals can be here. So this can be water can be flows here from these areas. This can be spread and also in infiltrated water can be artificial automatically recharges. This is the ditch and furrow techniques. Furrow type techniques can be, but of course these techniques can be used for the irrigation purposes also. Next be subsurface method. Surface method is what? Next subsurface method. In this method the structure is lies between surface and recharge of the groundwater directly. The important structures commonly recharge shaft or dug wells can be used as dug wells. So this is the recharge wells. Let us see that one recharge. The artificially the pipe will be connected here in the groundwater level and it can be connected to the pipeline. The water can be spread inside directly inside the water in the layers. It can be evaporated, infiltrated, and due to percolated the water can be spread. So it can be naturally it can be found, but due to the soil conditions of the above, what happens? It cannot be recharged properly. That's why on the situation we are going to be used some of the techniques for the recharging of the wells. Next, injection wells. So injection wells is nothing but there is the well which is already one pipeline is inserted inside that one, and also it is connected to the another pipeline. So this is the water can be spread by forcefully inside the water. So this is the type of the we called as injection type. Nothing but we are injecting the water by forcibly. That's why we called as injection type of the wells. Next, recharge wells. As we know the recharge wells. In the recharge wells, see the aquifers can be 50 meters of the cost effective because recharge can be taken and gravity system is only. These wells can be used types can be another situation of the type. Let us see that the recharge of the wells. In the recharge of the wells, what happens? The water, rainwater can be available, can be stored, and it can due to the drainage of the system can be it can be sent to the water of the storm water, sent to the wells, and also it can be the wells can be stored water simultaneously. The water can be utilized in the peak summer or peak area. The availability of the water can be utilized on particular area. So next to pits and shaft. So this is one of the techniques can be used on pits and shaft. So these are the pits area. Small pits can be constructed. These are the structures. The diameter of should be normally 2 meters to accommodate the water. To advantages of the shaft of the pressure is not required. The piece of the there is no losses of the water can be used of the soil. So like other methods can be when compared to the other methods, the pits type of the small holes can be constructed, and it can be water can be spread into that one, and it can be recharged in the groundwater, and the particular area can be selected. So those are the techniques. There are a lot of techniques is there, but here which techniques is suitable on particular area can be the judge is very important. So that is the techniques. So pits and shaft. Let us see that one. In a diagram you can understand easily the pits of the diagram. Can pits and recharge of the area, but there is some gravel is there, also sand is also there. So from this water is availability in the top can be recharged to the sand, coarse sand, and also aggregates can be here, and from this it can be recharged through that water. So that is the one of the techniques can be used on the pits of the shafts of the artificial recharge techniques. Dug wells. Dug wells is also the well is the, let us see that one. Here is the constructed of the well here. So based on this well, it can be recharged in the groundwater particularly. Let us see that one. So in this one we have to be constructed, and also the water can be available from the on particular area. It can be the waste water can recharge and send it to the pits, and it can be recharged in the ground floor levels. That is the techniques can be used for the artificial recharge of the groundwater. So the individual recharge is also method. Artificial recharge is also there. So such the heavy pumps from the lowers of the groundwater level can be depressed. The surface of the water of the groundwater can be streamed by aquifer by the sand of the information. And also individual recharge is also another techniques. These techniques can be used, can be the side of the walls can be simultaneously constructed one well, and it can be recharged here from this top, and also this forcefully it can be also recharged. Some of the water can be inside the ground, and it can be acquired from again it can be top. So that is the individual recharge of the techniques. So this is the topic regarding the artificial recharge of the groundwater, and thank you so much. We have to meet another topic.
Like, share and subscribe. Hit the bell icon for more updates.